Hello there and welcome back to Rosewater. Now, last time we rocked up into town for a job interview at a local rag, and we were asked to write a puff piece about a local, well, a cowboy that's rolled into town, like a famous cowboy, and we're supposed to do a puff piece about him for the paper. Now, we kind of got dragged into a caper of sorts when we went to see the guy. Turns out that there's a whole load of money and treasure to be had at a local scientist's lab that has disappeared. He received a whole load of money and he's disappeared. So we are currently, or were, trying to break into his laboratory and ended up forming kind of a posse. So we have quite a few people now. I think it was five or six people now in our posse, all with different skills. So we've managed to secure ourselves some dynamite in order to break the, well, explode the door to the laboratory. Yes, the lab. I don't know why I was going to say it like that. It feels, I should have just said lab. Anyway, I'm second guessing myself. So we managed to secure some dynamite in the last episode, as well as do a heist for a local Indian tribe to get them on our side. And that's where we left off. We are going to be heading back to the lab now in order to get in there, and we're going to find out probably that the treasure isn't real. And we're going to be dragged into some other story. It may well be that the treasure is real as well. I don't know. We're going to find out. So, that being said, please grab your favourite drinks and snacks, curl up somewhere comfortable, come hang out with me as we jump back into Rosewater. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. And just like that, we're back in. So, this is where he got his hat back, and we're going to be picking up some stuff.
I shouldn't leave this here.
It's good to see someone who respects their country.
Very true. Can we have a look at the arrow? Can we take arrows as well?
I wonder how things will go for the Otham now that they have firearms.
Well enough, I hope. Provided they don't point them at us.
True. Also valid. Right, so we are heading back to the lab. We're also in classic point-and-click adventure mode. We will pick up anything that is not nailed down, because you never know when we're going to need it. Are we going... How do we go back? Oh, that. Okay, we're going that way. We're going left. Yeah, so we were captured by the Otham and taken prisoner. But we managed to talk our way out of it.
You're quite certain you know what you're doing?
Just leave everything to me and stand far, far back.
I mean, you only need a little bit of dynamite, I think, to get open that door. Unless you're going to blow the entire lab. Is there something explosive? Is there something like highly reactive inside here and this whole place is going to blow up? That was a nice explosion.
Impressive work there, Phil.
Gracias.
And
yes.
Explosion will certainly liven up your article. Eh, Harley?
Yeah, I'm assuming we're still writing the article. Right, so we going... Well, we already found everything here, didn't we?
Must take ages for any correspondence to get out here.
Probably beats having to hike into town, though.
Yeah, I mean, instead of hiking into town, just have someone hike all the way here. Get someone else to do it. Right, let's just go in. I'm just going to go straight in. What's that?
Well, slap my behind and call me Betsy.
I really hope that's a mannequin.
I was expecting to find, but it wasn't this.
It has been completely ransacked.
It's a Faraday
There's
cage.
gotta be some indication of where Clark took his money. Let's take a look around. But watch yourselves. No telling what any of these doohickeys might be capable of.
Very true. I really want to check. That has to be a mannequin.
A wooden mannequin in a cage.
Okay. It's a Faraday cage.
Questions.
You sure you want them answered?
Probably not. Handprint on the wall there.
I can't see through. The window is too grimy.
You're gonna
At least
jump scare
Dr.
me.
Clark practiced fire safety. Looks like it's connected to the door somehow.
And that wire runs to the console back there.
Won't do us any
Okay.
good if there's nothing powering.
Yeah, so we need to turn the power on. What are you over there? Oh, I clicked. No! Never mind. We're going back in. I was trying to click over here for that, and I must have clicked. Excuse me. I must have clicked down there. Right, so we want to get in that door. Can we just open the door?
No handle. Must be some other way to open it.
Also, keep clear at all times. That's an interesting sign for what this is. Right. So nothing over here, nothing over there. Got the key. Check the... Let's search the desk. Can't pick that thing up that's on the floor.
Empty. Not really surprising.
Just
There's
look
about
at it.
2 inches of dust.
So we're looking at that. Cable.
Empty.
Oh.
Not
okay.
really surprising. What in the ether is this thing?
Yes.
I wouldn't get too close.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to touch stuff. Don't touch random stuff. Look at that.
Some kind of console. Seems to connect to a few things.
Inspect it. 9207.
Some kind of combination or code?
TT180.
T180. Must be this contraption's model number. I guess
Etheric
this
pressure in
measures etheric
decibars.
Pressure, whatever that means.
I mean, are we... Are we just going to type the code into here?
One of the dials is missing.
Oh,
Just
we
my
were
luck.
missing a dial. 0, and let's just turn that one to 7. I'm assuming this is the...
It won't turn any further that way.
Oh, wait, you can do it left. Okay. I was wondering why that didn't work. I thought it was broken. Right, so I'm going to assume we need to find the dial, turn that to 2, 9, 2, or 7. And that's going to do something. Flip it.
Nothing happened. This console isn't getting any power.
Let's follow the cable again, because obviously the cable comes from the door to here, and then this leads out here into that next area. Let's have a look at that
Not
first
much
though.
left. Some books and a broken device.
Let's go this way. Follow the cable, and the cable goes
This Clark
upstairs.
fellow was into some strange things, wasn't he?
He
I'm
was
starting
scientist.
to understand why he chose to do his work out in the middle of nowhere.
I think he was forced to do it in the middle of nowhere. Let's have a look at the chair.
This must be where Clark parked his rear during his experiments.
I assume we're going to have to do
This is
something
where
with
all the
that.
cables wind up.
Look at it.
I get the impression this is what powers everything in here.
We just need to get it running again somehow.
Very true. Can we inspect it?
No good. There's some power getting through, but it needs more.
Okay. So we need to follow the cable. We must need to go upstairs then. Or
I can't remove it with my hands.
screwdriver.
I need a tool
Okay.
to screw it.
Well, funny enough, I saw a toolkit just there. Reach for it. Can we grab it from
Way
here?
too high for me.
Want me to give you a boost?
Nah, I still couldn't reach. I'll think of something else.
I mean, we could just throw something at it.
I can't begin to fathom what these contraptions
It seems
are
to be
for.
balanced.
Nothing of use to us.
Anything
books.
interesting in there?
Not really. Probably why they were left behind.
Valid. So I don't know if we're supposed to be going upstairs. What have we got in here? We'll have a tattered flag. Oh, we can move the chair.
Maybe this will help. Then again,
I guess
maybe
not.
not.
Can we maybe pick up a bit of the chair and throw it at the thing? Can we get up the stairs?
Guess we won't get to see what's up on the roof.
Just as well. I prefer to keep my feet on the ground.
Considering you flew out of a window, that's a valid statement. Right, so what can we do?
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
Yeah,
Because you know I've been wondering about the Otham. What do you suppose will happen to them now that they're armed with guns?
Yeah, I don't think the soldiers will respect the borders. Definitely not. Be able to defend themselves. The soldiers will declare war. Probably declare war.
I worry the fort will see it as an excuse to declare an all-out war.
Yes, that is my fear.
That's more likely.
If Stokes attacks and they successfully fend him off, then perhaps he will leave them alone. But
Doubtful.
it will certainly not happen without bloodshed.
Well, best of luck to him.
Now I kind of feel a little bit guilty because we're responsible for that. Technically, we're responsible for it. How do we get to that box? Could have borrowed the arrowhead. Okay.
Any clever ideas to get to that confounded box?
That's that one
Not too
first.
many, I'm afraid.
Hang on, I've got an idea. Why don't you just shoot the box down?
Beg pardon?
Let's put that gunslinging know-how of yours to
Yeah,
work.
why not?
I may be a showman, but I ain't a performing monkey. Besides, I never perform sharpshooting tricks without a crowd.
Really?
Crowd be damned. I want to see what's in the box.
You've proven yourself resourceful. I'm sure you can find a more
Really?
practical
Like,
way to
I
get
don't
to
think
the
you can
box
shoot.
that doesn't
I think you
involve
can do
wasting ammo.
twirly moves, but I don't think you can actually shoot.
I don't understand. You showed off your prowess with a gun
We're gonna
before.
push this.
Now
We're gonna push
all I'm
it.
hearing are excuses. Why so shifty all of a sudden?
All right, look. The truth is, I've gone a mite rusty. A couple of years ago, I could have done it
Probably
with my eyes shut.
Danny is the one who actually did the shooting off the.
So how
That's
did
probably
you
what it
pull off
is.
that juggling trick?
Danny's the one that shoots the ball from the wings. You want that box down so bad, ask him to help you when he gets back.
Okay, can I borrow that?
that arrowhead for a spell.
By all means. Maybe it'll bring you some luck, too.
Okay. Let's get a
Enough
move on.
jabber. Let's push on.
I should probably have asked him about the lab, but we're trying to make some progress here.
Hey, Phil, let's talk.
What about?
How do we
Think
get?
of any way to get that box
Yeah,
down?
me able to ask
I'm
you as
afraid
well.
reaching high things has never been my forte.
Clark's lab is really quite something, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, something unnatural, something perverse.
I mean,
What
it's
possessed
talking about
it to
etheric
undertake this
energy, you know,
research is
it's
beyond me.
something a bit out there. Right, carry on.
Carry on.
We should probably learn about them as well. We're only
we
working
talk?
together.
What's on your mind?
Well, we're going to ask you
This place
about Clark's
sure
lab.
is something, isn't it?
I admit, I never gave much credence to all that ethericity business.
Yeah,
Seeing all
I've
the
never heard of it before.
contraptions and appurtenances, let's just say it's given me a new appreciation for Clark's tenacity.
Oh, hold on. I've just
Enough
worked it out.
jabber. Let's push on.
I don't think we need to get that right now. I was going to try and get that to get a screwdriver, but I think if we inspect this, we can use the arrowhead. We can use the arrowhead to take these screws out.
Let's see if this works.
Thinking outside the box. There we go. We're going to be doing a puzzle in here, I imagine, to get extra power.
That did it.
Oh, okay. Let's put that away.
No
Let's have a
wonder
look at
the
that.
power's not getting through. This wire's all corroded. Looks like something chewed through it. Looks a bit worse for wear. Just have to get it working.
Okay, so we need to find something to wrap that up. Wrap that in. I highly doubt it's going to be easy as
There's
as
a
that.
thought, but this is way too big.
Okay, so can we use that with that? Use with?
Hope this isn't considered treason.
Tear up into strips. And not quite. I don't think it'll be classed as treason. Now wrap that.
should do
Wrap that.
it.
I don't know if that will actually work. And we'll need something for corrosion as well. Can we just... Can we just wipe it off?
That muck's too solidified to wipe off.
Okay, so can we scrape?
I could try scraping it, but I don't want to risk cutting the wire. There's got to be another way.
Okay, so what else do we have? Can we... I don't think paper's going to work.
That won't get the muck off.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't. I didn't think it would. Right, so I'm assuming we're going to need to be with a chemical or something. Do we still need the box?
Looks like a toolbox. What's it doing all the way up there? Guess we won't get to see what...
Just as well.
Okay, so how do we get that? Is there anything in here?
This may have held something interesting once, but now it's just lodging for spiders.
Absolutely. Right, so let's go back. See if we can't find something in here. I mean, fire extinguisher, maybe. I can't pick it up, though.
At least Dr. Clark practiced fire safety.
Can we wipe the window? Can we wipe the... Okay, we can't. We can't interact with it. Right. So what do we do here? We need something to wipe this thing. Get rid of the corrosion. We looked at everything in here.
Left. Some books and a broken device.
I completely forgot as well that if you double click it skips the walking. But that feels kind of a little bit disingenuous. Is there anything outside we can use? Or are we going further afield? Because I don't think we've got everything we need up here. Can we go out? Can we visit somewhere else? We're going to see if we can visit somewhere else. And find a possible chemical of some variety. So we've got the fort. Wait, what's that? I'm going to go to see that thing. Miracle cures for all ailments.
Dios mío. What is this
It's a
abomination?
giant...
Folks, interested in learning about Coltit's miracle elixir?
Cold tits?
Of course we are, little lady.
Then step on over here.
Is that... did I read that right? Cold tits? Okay, I'm guessing we're going to probably use this chemical to clear the thing.
Boy, I sure wish I was you.
Beg pardon?
Why, today's your lucky day.
Okay.
Is that right?
Really?
Yes, sirree.
Bet you say that to all the marks.
Experience the travesty of Xander Coltit III's miracle elixir.
The what now?
Oh, dang. I mean, the majesty of Xander Coltit III's miracle elixir.
Okay.
My name is Olivia Coltit, and I'm here to answer all your questions.
Your jacket doesn't fit.
Evolutionary new medication.
You mean
Are
revolutionary?
you sure you don't mean revolutionary new medication?
That's what I said. So, do you want to hear about it or not?
Drop the spiel, we're not rubes. Nothing about the lab over there. Okay, drop the
Look,
spiel.
Kid, we're not born yesterday, townies. You
We-
can spare
we
us
know
the
what's
song
going
and
on.
dance.
Oh, leave her be. I think she's charming.
She is.
Mister,
She's doing
my
her
dad
thing.
says that to get anywhere in this business, charm is financial.
I think you mean essential?
I know what I mean.
Are you related to Jem by any chance? I punched Jem in the face. You probably remember it from the last episode. Why aren't you here by yourself?
Why are you parked in the middle of the desert when there's a town full of potential customers not 2 miles from here?
Oh, I'm just minding the wagon while my daddy's doing his business at the fort. But he
Oh,
told
really?
me to stand out here and detract anybody who might come by.
And has anyone else come by?
Oh,
No,
sure.
probably.
Tons
Oh.
of folk. Only one who didn't stop was a feller on horseback. Too bad. 'cause the guy he was hauling looked like he could have used some elixir.
Who was he hauling? Okay, tell me about the elixir. Tell me about it.
About this miracle elixir.
Glad you asked. From the maker of the wildly popular Coltit's emulsified soporific comes Coltit's Miracle Elixir, the finest, most elective tonic in Vespuccia, guaranteed to treat and cure all illnesses from arthritis to yellow fever. And for a special limited time, we're selling for the treasonable price.
If it poisons you to death, then it would cure you. It would cure you all your ailments. I'll take a bottle.
Yay! Thanks, ma'am.
I mean, we probably could have spoken to her about it.
How about your friends? Want 2 more for them?
We'll share.
We'll share it.
Okay. If you change your minds, you know where to find me.
I do.
And if we're gone by then, well, best of luck to you.
Valid. Right, so let's just continue. I think that's what we need to do the corrosion. I'm assuming that's what we need. Are you related to Jem?
You wouldn't be related to a kid in Rosewater named Jem, would you?
No, ma'am. Far as I know, I'm a lonely child.
I was going to say, don't you mean only child? But a lot of times an only child is a lonely child. Nothing about the lab.
Hey, do you know anything about that lab over there?
No, but I did hear a big boom coming from that way.
Yeah, that was us.
You're doing?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, come on. You could tell me. I'm no tattler.
I said no. Now stop asking.
Yeah, he definitely did. It was
I've heard
us.
enough for now. We'll just be going.
It was a real pressure.
Pleasure. Right. Let's have a bit of a spy.
Professor Xander Coltit III. Good medicine for good people.
Also valid. Right. I'm assuming we're done here.
My guess is the primary ailment these folks cure is swollen purses.
If there's not a good that's a good reason to cure them of their, you've got to cure them of this thing. It's a major affliction. Loads of people have it. More people don't have it. Swollen purse. Right, back here. I'm assuming we're going to use this liquid to clean this machine. Because logic tells me that's the case. And it's going to be a joke that, we're supposed to drink this stuff. It's corrosive enough to, whatever it is, the thing. Decorrode. Right. So I'm no, I don't want that.
Not much left.
Right. So back into here. I'm wondering if we're ever actually going to get into that thing. Inspect that. What was it again? There. Smell it.
That'll put hairs on your chest.
I mean, we're not going to drink it. Look at it.
Professor Xander Coltit III's Miracle Elixir. Guaranteed to cure what ails you. I'm sure that's the case if what ails you is sobriety.
I mean, valid. Well, probably would cure you if you think. Right, so
let's put some of this elixir to good use.
I thought it was. Yeah, we were supposed to drink that. We were supposed to drink that. That's more like acid. Right, so let's turn that on now. We have full power. Oh, are we good? I don't have any control right now.
Fantastic.
It's growing. Hey guys, you back?
Looks like Phil managed to get the door open.
I wonder if they found anything inside.
That'll be a yes. I don't know if I want to go near that.
I'd say so, yes.
We are up and running.
Impressive.
This technology is amazing. What did this Clark fellow intend to do?
I don't know,
with
but
such
I'm
power?
a little bit curious.
I wonder about that myself.
Hey, Danny.
Nice job getting the lights back on.
Get everything squared with the Otham?
I think so.
They're adequately supplied. They should be well off for some time.
Well, I suppose we should see about...
Hello? Is someone in here?
Damn. Looks like we've attracted some attention.
We get, to be fair,
Come in peace.
glowing
Please,
sky. You know, we made the sky
Have
glow.
much choice.
Hi. Who might you be? Who might you be?
Goodness, I wasn't expecting so many of you.
And we weren't expecting anybody at all.
Very true. Who are you?
And just who might you be?
I am Paul Burkhart, emissary of the Luminarians.
Who are the
What now?
also nice
We are
sandals.
disciples of
Luminarians?
Clark, protectors of his artifacts and legacy.
No kidding. So you must know all about him then.
Quite
Okay, so he's got a posse of his own. Can you tell me about him?
Well, isn't this our lucky day? Can you tell us what you know about him?
If you seek enlightenment, we will be glad to share our wisdom with you.
For the
But
low,
let us
low
all
price
return to
of
commune,
$19.99.
lest our souls defile the sanctity of this place. Come, I am eager to learn about you all.
We've only just got here. I want to open the door. I should have
Welcome,
done something.
merciless friends. Feel free to explore, converse.
Rostrum. I don't know
Find
what's the
we have much
rostrum.
to offer. We'll speak again soon.
Well, you brought us here to talk.
Accommodating fella.
Excuse me.
It's all very strange.
It is, yes.
Might be into this porqueria, but I want no part of it. I am going back to the lab.
Suit yourself.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back to the lab myself because I'm not really
All right,
interested
let's see what
in
we
here.
can learn about where Clark's stash might be.
I'm supposed,
But-
yeah, we can use it as a.
Overplay our hand, shall we? If anybody asks, our interest is purely academic.
I'm really not a good liar, Mr. Ackerman.
Shoot, nobody's asking you to lie, sugar. Just withhold certain details.
You just don't
You're
tell
interested
people.
in learning about Clark. That's all there is to it. Come on, Danny. Let's see where our friend's gone off to.
I know lying doesn't come natural to some. For others, it's like breathing.
Very
Don't
true.
take this amiss, but
I've
like
known
some
plenty of people that can lie to
sometimes
to the
it's
heart's
good to be
content.
able to keep certain things to yourself you don't want everybody and his uncle to know.
Oh. All right.
Believe what you're saying. When in doubt, change the subject. Always maintain eye contact. Believe what you're
Above
saying.
all else, be confident. If you sound like you believe what you're saying, they will too.
You seem to have a lot of experience in these matters.
I'm a writer. Sometimes the truth hurts and it's kind of a lie.
Sometimes the truth can do more harm than good. A lie can be a kindness.
Is that really what you believe?
If what someone doesn't know can hurt them, why shatter their peace? Or
True.
bring trouble down on somebody else just for principle?
Dishonesty is disrespect. For others, for God, for oneself. For instance, I would never conceal the truth from a patient, no matter how grim.
Oh, which is a medic.
Well, I won't argue with that. A body should know what they're up to.
Okay.
I don't lie to
I was
hurt
wondering
you.
what her skill was because
Sometimes
everyone
it's
like
just
has
the
different
only way.
skills.
That's good to know, I guess. Your advice is appreciated. I'll just see what I can find out on my own.
Okay, be careful. I don't know if we should have done that or not. Let's have a bit of a spy.
If
Let's
it
have a poke
smells
around.
anything to go by, that crate's full of fertilizer.
I mean, it's not particularly doing that well for the crops if it is fertilizer.
Not very intimidating. No wonder the crops are bare.
Right, what? I can't remember what a rostrum is.
Kitchen to the left, rostrum to the right.
Let's go to the kitchen. Can we go to the kitchen?
Suppose that's where the animals are kept.
Also, it's
Certainly
an interesting,
colorful.
picture.
Seems like they're pretty self-sufficient here. They have an automated irrigation system. Pretty ingenious.
That's where Dr. Clark comes in. Right, so can we go? We can go left. Let's go follow. Thingy, I've forgotten her name already. Let's go follow the lady. We're going to be stealing stuff over here.
This isn't much use with a wheel missing. Handle still looks good, at least.
Can I take the handle? No?
My, that's quite imaginative.
Are we actually gonna, is this game gonna turn into some like sci-fi?
Excuse me?
Ah, hello. You must be one of Miss Redbird's companions.
That's right. Harley Legere.
Yes.
My name is Evan Holbrook. Welcome to Chrysalis.
So I like what you're
Just
cooking.
showing me the cookhouse. You know they grow or raise everything they eat here themselves?
Very self-sufficient. They do seem to be.
Sometimes we need to resupply from town, but we aim to be fully self-reliant. Our dedication will be rewarded with bounty.
Valid. Are you the chef? Ask about Dr. Clark. Are you the chef?
So, are you the
I'm gonna
biscuit
sneeze.
roller for this community, or
Feel one
what?
brute.
Not quite. Every Chrysalis does their part. It's my day on the rota to fix breakfast.
Do you have a doctor?
Another one?
We have a few skilled in healing, yes. I
Alright.
do wish we had more knowledge of agriculture. Our crops haven't been thriving like we hoped.
What's wrong with the
Said
crops?
Crops weren't doing well. Why not?
Getting the irrigation in this year saved some of the crop, but we're facing lean times. We simply must find a way to grow enough to feed everyone.
So what brought us here?
Sorry, Evan.
I wonder if
How
we
did
can
you
help
join up with
these people.
folks?
Well, like many of the others here, I was living in New Britannia. My wife was there at the etheric demonstration at the expo. I thought I'd lost her forever. But emissary Paul found me and explained how she hadn't perished, merely transcended. At first I
Okay.
didn't believe him. I wanted to throttle him, actually.
Valid response when
I can
someone tells you
understand
that
that reaction.
that sky's
Realized
kind of cool. I like the
in
sky.
my grief, I had become blinded.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Ah, don't be. One day I'll transcend too, and we'll be reunited in the ether.
Seems like a cult. Let's talk about Dr. Clark. Have you met him?
Did you ever meet Dr. Clark?
Alas, no. I hadn't really heard of him before the expo. I was looking at the wax anatomical models in the medical marvels exhibit. But
Cool.
my wife said they turned her stomach, so she went to see the etheric pavilion instead. I don't think she really knew who Bennett Clark was either. It was just something to pass the time. If only
As you do.
either of us knew what a significant thing was about to happen.
You mean the disaster? Oh, okay. You mean the
Clark's
demonstration?
demonstration?
Indeed, the miracle that drew us out.
Don't play our hand.
Took
We're
my wife
interested in him. If we be accusatory, he's probably going to
etheric realm.
shut down.
I only regret that I wasn't there, so I could have gone along with her.
Because these are, you got to remember that these are people that are loyal to Clark and they revere him, not particularly as a god, but they revere him. So calling it a disaster is probably a bad idea. And do you know where Dr. Clark
Dr.
went?
Clark disappeared too?
Evocator Bennett didn't disappear. He transcended.
Again, you use this word. What do you mean by it?
Yeah, what does that
He
mean?
passed through the etheric gateway and joined with the luminous ones in the cosmos.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So he went through a portal to see glowy aliens.
Exactly what was Dr. Clark researching?
Ethericity, of course.
Of course.
What is
but
that?
What about it?
What is it?
Energy sources? Industrial applications? What?
Miss Legere, I couldn't begin to tell you. Whatever reasons he may have given the public.
Tells me he either doesn't know or it's impossible to tell.
Was to open the way
Or they don't
for
know.
humanity to pass into the etheric realm. And it wasn't easy. He spent 2 years in that laboratory before transcending. Soon the day will come when we all can follow him.
It was good talking to you. I'll leave you both to it.
Goodbye for now.
see you later, Harley.
See you later, Redbird. Miss Redbird. I don't know if you have... I can't remember if we actually have a first name for her. Hello.
Well, well, if it isn't my old friend.
The Defiler returned.
Defiler.
Hey now, don't get your britches in a twist.
You're a guest of Emissary Paul, so I'm obliged to welcome you. But if you continue casting your shadows of discord over all that is bright here, there will be consequences.
Excuse me. How am I... Yeah, how am I casting Shadows of Discord?
Casting shadows of discord or whatever.
Yeah, how... What do you mean by that?
Passing outside the laboratory. Then your friend blasted the door off.
It was all in the name of research. I'm just as interested in all this as you.
Very true.
Peculiar way of showing it.
I mean, we needed to get inside. Do you have the key? Why are you guarding this building?
What's so special about this place that they've got you standing guard?
This building houses our collection of artifacts salvaged from Dr. Clark's laboratory.
You totally know we're breaking into
You're
here.
the ones who looted the place.
We did not loot it.
You did loot it.
Saved important items from obscurity and decay.
Think I might take a quick peek?
Let's have a look.
Absolutely not. Outsiders are forbidden.
Well, can I join the
So how does
Luminarians?
one go about joining your little club?
You think if you joined us that I would just suddenly allow you to enter?
Sure, you said only outsiders. were
Exactly. That you're
Nice.
following your rules.
But not on my watch.
What if I found something
I
new?
brought you a new artifact for your collection.
Then I would be very surprised. We've already retrieved everything of value from the laboratory.
Even from that locked room?
That room is inaccessible. Do not even consider attempting to breach it.
How's it in a... What do you mean?
So what brought you to Chrysalis?
May as well ask that before we're going to ask him about Clark as well.
Touchy. Did you ever have a chance to meet
Yeah, we
Dr.
ask the
Clark?
same questions, but we never know what information we're going to get.
Desire to.
No?
Ethericity is not a power to be trifled with. I've no interest in meeting someone who treats it as a plaything.
Oh, okay. Do you know
Where
where he
did
went?
Dr. Clark end up?
Not where he should have.
Well, he seems to be very angry with Dr. Clark.
Do you know any details about Dr. Clark's research?
He was toying with fire, pure and simple. He may have been inspired and driven to his work by the luminous ones, but he was only their tool. He did not acknowledge
Probably.
their undeniable glory or show them the proper respect. He took a battering ram to the door of heaven. When they tired of the noise, they whisked him away inside the gates, while the rest of us still wait outside.
That is
So
quite
what
the
you're
take.
saying is
You don't actually
you
know.
don't actually know.
I've underestimated you. Didn't think there could be someone more arrogant than Dr. Clark.
I'll leave you to your guarding.
I aim to
Try not
please.
die of
I
boredom.
aim to please. Right, let's get out of here. Let's go see where the boys went. I'm definitely assuming we're going to have to get into there at some point as well. We're probably going to need something from in there. So let's go to the rostrum, because that was the kitchen back there. Didn't say anything about a museum though. I don't know what those are. Those look kind of creepy. We've got some crop though.
Something about that makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, it feels odd. It just feels off entirely. Hey guys, you alright?
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Ah, Harley. Miss Larkin here was just telling me about this fascinating place.
Hello and welcome. It's so nice to have visitors.
Welcome to be
Thanks,
here.
but I was hoping to have a word with Jake in private.
Of course.
While we're having
What's on your mind?
Yeah, what we're having a conversation about?
So, what have you picked up from these fine folks?
This ethericity stuff is much more complex than I thought.
Seems it.
Seems our friend Dr. Clark may have been on to something after all.
Are we going to go into some sci-fi world? Are we going to activate this lab, go in there and find ourselves in a sci-fi zone? That would be kind of funny. Not where I would expect it to take us.
I think I found a promising lead.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a shack on the other side,
of the commune.
full of things salvaged from Clark's lab. Only problem is it's being guarded by that first Luminarian we met.
Oh, the feller with the tinfoil chapeau?
The very same.
Oh, the tinfoil. I didn't realize that was a tinfoil guy.
He's a peculiar one, but he seems to be the most reverent to these folk. Perhaps you could win him over with a peace offering. There might still be something in the lab that's been overlooked.
Valid. Okay,
I'll
have
just
fun.
leave you to it then.
Have fun speaking to the lady. Danny, can you maybe shoot down the
Hey,
toolkit?
What's going on?
So, what's our
I'm gonna ask everything.
been jabbering about?
Because, you know, that's where how we get information.
Jake seem like a silent monk by comparison. Anyway, it's mostly been about Clark, his etheric research in New Britannia, how he built his lab out here after the Expo disaster.
Did they actually call it... Sorry, miracle. I was going to say, did they actually call it a disaster?
Clark transcended. I'm not sure what that means.
I get the impression it means he's dead.
Oh, that's too bad.
True. I like Danny. I really do. What do you think of this place?
What's your impression of Chrysalis?
Well, it's peculiar. Everybody's got a job to do, a way to help. Nobody's left out, and that's nice.
That is, in a community.
Etheric beings? It sounds,
Crazy?
You said it, not me. Anyhow, I wouldn't mind hanging around a while.
Alright. Oh, actually, can you shoot down a box?
I was wondering if you might help me out with something.
What?
There's a toolbox inside Clark's lab that's out of reach, and I've had no luck getting it down. Think you might put your pistols to the task? I asked Jake to do it, but he said you were the one for the job.
True.
Do that? Yeah. You want to go right now?
Yeah, let's go now. Let's go now.
Sure thing. Just...
We'll go now. We're going to head down here. That one up there.
Ah, Phil. There you are.
Had enough of those luminous lunatics too, did you?
Yeah, I'm thinking something that's going to be in there that we need.
That's it, up there.
Right. You might want to stand over on this side, Phil.
Because there's going to be bullets flying over here, and just in case there's a ricochet, I don't want to take you down. Nice. That was a very nice shot.
Thanks, Harley. Happy to help. So, what's inside that box that's so important anyway?
I've no idea.
Guess we all get to find out together.
Yeah, let's definitely search that. I'm assuming we're probably going to get something that we can use to get into the other place.
Well, anything good inside?
Not really. Just a wrench and this odd dial thing.
We need the dial.
I hope it was worth the trouble.
Yes, it is.
That was good practice, at least. I'm heading back to Chrysalis. See you both later.
Definitely. So, well, since we're here and have the dial, it would be remiss. Oh, I would be remiss to think we may as well talk to him while we're waiting. We need to open this door.
Let's talk.
What about?
A bunch of Clark's things are collected at the commune.
We need to be in there.
One of the Luminarians is guarding the place.
Naturally. Are you seeking a distraction?
If you have an idea, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
It just so happens I do.
Oh, really?
I've had a look around, and this machinery is quite unstable. With a few more items, I could finish what we started with the door and send this whole place up in smoke. That would give you time to search, no?
It would, but it seems a tough...
Yeah, it seems a bit extreme.
What would you need exactly?
Well, mainly fertilizer and flammable liquid for accelerant.
Well, I know where to get fertilizer from.
Out of scrap I found, but I will need something to serve as the plunger to set it off.
Well,
okay.
I'll consider it.
I know where the plunger is, the handle for the wagon. I'm probably going to grab for the plunger. We know where to get the fertilizer. The accelerant, I don't really know. Right, carry on.
Carry on.
So I'm going to go... I don't know if we actually need to blow up this lab or not. Are you coming with me? Oh, you are. Cool. Right, so let's go in here. While we're here, we may as well use this dial. And... Oh. No, I don't want that. Wait, this... Oh, are we lockpicking? Warded lock, no key for me, turn the hook freely. Padlocks, wiggle the key to start the fun, then take the snake for a long, long run. These are guides for, I think, deadbolts. Tense the key and choose the snake, look around as you give it a shake. Tumbler locks the key, still the diamond shines, turn up just once and down 3 times. Okay. Okay, so that's our journal. That's not particularly what I wanted, however... we have information. Select that. Can we put that on there? Turn, and it needs to be 2. flip.
Phil, you might want to...
Let's get out here. Not a good thing.
Move.
Yeah, okay.
Are you all right?
Yeah, are you fine?
Do you need so. The cage seems to have absorbed all that energy. Just warn me before you try that again.
Yeah, that's probably valid. That's very valid.
The console operates equipment by setting the dials in a 4-digit sequence. That means we need to figure out the right code to get the door open.
Okay. That is valid.
I can't see through. The window.
I'm glad he's all right. Can we use that? We can't. That's a shame, really.
Looks like it's connected to the door somehow.
And that wire runs to the console back there.
So how do we get... We should probably look at it.
Must be some other way to open it.
Did you write the code on it?
Can't really see through the porthole, but it looks dense in there.
Dense? Right, so how are we going to work out the code for this door?
What in the ether is this thing?
Best left alone, if you ask me.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to start faffing on.
TT-180. Must be this contraption's model number.
Okay, so what is the plan here? Because we need stuff to blow the lab up to create a distraction, but if we blow the lab up, then we can't access this door because we're going to blow the lab up.
I will stay in here.
All right, be careful. Right, so what's the plan? We're going to go back to the... We're going to go back to the commune.
Whatever turning on that generator did, I hope it's not permanent.
I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be etheric energy. What's going on?
All right, then.
Oh, okay. So it dissipated entirely. Commune. Let's go back to the commune. We can grab the fertilizer from here. Because we know this already. Take that.
This had better work, Phil.
Now, I don't know if this is one of these... hold on. I went the wrong way. Back here. Going back to the kitchen for the handle. So yeah. I don't know if this is one of the choice things. Can we get in? I'm assuming we're going to need to get something in here to work out the door combination. However, the way to get in here seems to be to destroy to blow up the lab.
This isn't much use with a wheel missing. Handle still looks good, at least.
Can we take the handle down? Right. Let's go back. We're gonna go back to the kitchen. We've got the fertilizer. I thought that was the handle for the thing, but apparently not. Can't pick it up. Well, let's ask some about it. We should probably ask the kitchen guy about it. Can we talk to her?
Begging your pardon.
How may I help?
Oh, we can. What do you do here?
What is it you do around here?
Plenty. I help in the fields and in the kitchen, but my particular gift is keeping Chrysalis beautiful and its people inspired. All the murals and
Are you
paintings
responsible for the art?
in the commune are my work.
And a fine job you've done.
Why, thank you.
It must have been a lot of work.
Must have kept you busy for a while.
Quite. There's still so much I'm looking forward to doing.
Okay, so you seem to love butterflies. What's the Oh yeah, I'm interested about the shadows. Yeah, what brought you Chrysalis? We're gonna ask stuff on the top. Me as well.
Always fascinated me. I joined up with the Luminarians when they were passing through Rampton on their way west. We founded Chrysalis here, close to the Evocator's laboratory, and where the veil is parted.
The veil?
The veil?
The boundary between our world and the ether. The realm of the cosmos. Home of the luminous ones. The barrier is very thin here. Can't you feel it?
There's definitely something in the air.
Yeah, definitely something. I have no idea what that is, though.
Noticed you all sure are fond of butterflies.
What better creature to symbolize transcendence? Like butterflies, we too will undergo a metamorphosis, pass through the veil into the ether, and join the luminous
It's really bizarre.
ones.
It's like
Not
butterfly,
only that,
like caterpillars and butterflies, really like bizarre to me.
Pattern.
Same with moths.
Means something?
Evocator Bennett's sacred number, of course.
Sacred number.
Sacred number? What does
The
that mean?
number
The
to
number 8
the
is very important. It appears constantly in the Evocator's writings, and Bennett himself was born on the 8th of August, 1788.
That's quite a coincidence.
Coincidence is mere illusion.
Yes. Should we have written that down? His birthday. So 8's significant.
What's the meaning behind those shadow paintings?
We commemorate those who have transcended, and those who will.
Hence the butterfly?
So would that be 8888 for the door code?
Yes, the butterfly represents the immortal soul, the essence of a person in their fullest flourishing. The butterfly is pure potential, contained within those who have not yet transcended. Once someone has passed into the ether, it is released and flies free.
Why, that's mighty poetical.
I can see that
Very
you
true.
have quite a bold, brilliant butterfly.
Yeah, the thing with the caterpillars, though.
You see that, do you?
If you permit me, it would be my honor to paint it. Only if you're willing, of course.
Okay.
Everyone's journey to transcendent readiness
Are you going to get painted?
Perhaps you could tell me more about it once Harley's done talking.
With pleasure.
Okay. Yeah, the thing with butterflies and moths, like caterpillar to butterfly, the process baffles me how it's very bizarre because the caterpillar cocoons itself and then essentially turns into goo, like an actual like goo, and then from that goo it reforms itself into into a butterfly, and that process sounds so bizarre to me, but it's pretty cool. Right.
Did you ever meet Dr.
Ask her about Clark.
Once.
I think we may know the code for the thing 8888.
I felt as though we'd conversed for hours.
Some people can have that effect. Do you have an idea of where Dr. Clark might be?
Yeah, where did he go?
Of course. He's with the luminous ones.
Pardon?
The beings on the other side of the veil. The ones who dwell in the ether.
You're saying Clark is dead?
Not dead.
Transcended. Or yeah, transcended. Not dead.
You still have much to learn. It's good you're with us now. Everything will become clear soon. Trust me.
Okay, what is he researching exactly?
Dr. Clark's etheric research about?
Truth.
Lovely sentiment, but could you be a bit more specific?
Yeah, can we narrow it down a little bit?
He sought to connect us with the world above, to unite us with the luminous ones. He succeeded in not only opening the door, but stepping through and crossing the veil. He showed that the way is possible. Now we all must learn to follow.
All right. Thanks for the chat.
Be well.
Don't
Thank you.
wander too far now.
I won't. Right, so we now have... should we listen to him?
My friends, today we give
Are we going to go back to the lab?
for our manifold blessings. On this day of celebration, the Evocator's Day of Transcendence. And why do we celebrate today, on the 8-month anniversary? Because 1 is nothing special. 1 is an isolating, selfish, lowly number. But 8...
1 is the loneliest number that you'll ever have.
8 is infinity. 8 is the flap of the butterflies.
I mean, to be fair, if you turn 8 on the side, it is the infinity symbol.
Of this year, exactly 8 months ago, the luminous ones called Evocator Bennett up to join them in the luminiferous ether. In so doing, they showed us the path of light, where soon
So that could be another
we
code.
all shall follow. Now our soul sibling Bennett dwells among them in the etheric
Was that
realm beyond this
8 months
earth,
ago from March?
transcendent union of
That would be,
cosmic
yeah,
harmony
that would be 8888.
and peace.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the lamp. We're going to try 8888 to get into this door. Actually, while we're here, let's just go. I'm going to go talk to the chef, the two people over here, see if I can take that handle. I think that handle is going to be for the... I think we're going to need to take that handle. And I believe it's probably going to belong to him. Hi.
Miss Legere?
Your friend over there refuses to let me.
I mean, we
in
may as well ask
Clark's
about it since we're here.
artifacts.
Yes. Samuel is quite a stickler for the rules. Sometimes I think he lets his duties as the emissary's assistant get to his head.
It was good talking to you. I'll leave you both to
Oh,
it.
okay.
Goodbye for
That was
now.
literally it.
See you later, Harley.
Have fun. Okay, so we can't take that, can I? Wait, should I ask him about it? Maybe it belongs to him. I thought it would probably belong to the kitchen.
I've got more important concerns right now.
Okay. So let's go back to the lab, because I don't think we can do anything right now, right at this point in time. We still need stuff for the distraction. We could also probably go to the fort to get something for the flammable thing. That's also available. We need to go there. We need to go back there to see what we can find. So yeah, I'm curious as to how we're gonna... I'm assuming we're gonna be able to get in here. And then if we can get in here, then we can blow up the lab safely. I say safely, but you know what I mean. Yeah, right, so inspect that. I mean, people use the birthday as a code all the time, don't they? Right, turn. 8. 8. 8, 8. Flip.
Not Clark's birthday. Good to know
Oh.
he wasn't quite so conceited.
Okay. I'm glad you made the reference to that. So what did he... 8 months ago. Okay, so is it the other guy? He mentioned I'm sure he said 8 months ago. I'm going to grab pen and paper. Unless it's written in... Actually, is it written in the dead journal? Hold on. Did you write that down? Okay, so make sure town called Christmas. Another ragamuffin selling snake on out of bag bagging, pillars with resourceful skill, destruction. Our farm was well picked over, a little left but some cryptic and rusted machinery. Coaxing it to life produced a terrific blast of green light that sent my teeth tingling and attracted some notice. We're not the only ones who've been drawn to this site. Nearby a group of folk who call their community Chrysalis and themselves Luminarians. Alright. So things from written on
I
here.
can't make heads nor tails of this chicken scratch.
Can we get access to the mannequin though?
At least Clark did his testing on mannequins, not people.
As far as we know.
Valid. Okay.
Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
What do you think?
Any ideas what the
Yeah,
code
do you know
for
what the
the
code
door
might
might
be?
It could be anything. Are you intending to guess it?
Unless I find it written somewhere, I don't see any other way.
Santa Maria. That could take months. If what is behind
it could.
the door is so important, then the code itself must be something meaningful to Clark. Maybe you can deduce it by learning more about him. I am certain those payasos at the commune will have plenty to share.
Right.
Okay, carry on.
Carry on.
Okay, so it wasn't 8888. So let's go back
I
to...
will stay in here.
Thank you. You stay there, have a coke and a smile. So let's go back and talk to things, because this other date that was mentioned was important to Clark. According to the guys here, anyway. I don't know if we need to go to the fort or not. We're probably going to swing by there at some point. Right, so let's go listen to this guy again. Hopefully he's going to say the same thing. Because I would need to work out what the date is today. Listening.
They're really fond of this butterfly.
I kind of like it.
Right, listen again.
In Chrysalis, at the Evocator's laboratory, his
Okay.
holy temple, the veil has been parted. And on the other side, the luminous ones are waiting.
Carmen, is this the same conversation we had before?
Us home. When he first arrived here, in that twice blessed year, for never forget that 8 is the most sacred number. Evocator Bennett perhaps did not yet know.
Twice blessed year.
Building a temple.
I'm say 88.
That is what it was, my friends. A temple, a lighthouse, a shining beacon in the dark. A divine instrument that would pierce the cosmic veil, letting the ether's light shine through to guide us. Calling the luminous ones. Calling us here. Calling us home.
Okay, so let's just keep listening to him.
We will never forget the momentous occasion when this holy work began. When Evocator Bennett came west after the...
It's a twice blessed year, so I'm assuming that's 8-8.
Laboratory. And he raised a light to the heavens and cried, "Let me in!" And 2 years later, his call was answered. And he was taken up into the etheric realm. And oh, friends,
We're just going to keep on listening.
the ether is a realm of pure...
I'm assuming these are all clues
light
to the code.
and love. There we are freed from these coarse material bonds. There we are not women and men, not young and old, not poor and rich, not white and black and brown. There we exist as pure souls.
I mean, it's a lofty gain, you know, it's a lofty cause.
Rainbow color. Our bodies are as the chrysalides of butterflies, curled up tight in these fleshly shells. Contained within each of us is our true etheric form. And believe me, friends, it is beautiful.
I'm kind of vibing with the message. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of vibing with this message.
We must finally emerge from our cocoons and fly free. Free among our souls.
I don't know if this is going to be as nice as what they think it is.
2 years ago, Evocator Bennett called them here. And 8 months ago, his call was answered.
Whether that we just wrote there.
I've had about as much of that as I can handle.
Okay, so we just wrote something down. Was that journal? Okay, so she did write something extra. There's some odd ideas that Dr. Clark told them to go to spirit people who live in the sky. They regard the Expo disaster as a miracle and think that when an etheric discharge blasts your body to smithereens, that actually it means you've transcended, gone into the ether with these luminous ones. I figure that's what happened to Dr. Clark, which I suppose means he's dead. But they say you can't take your money with you, so it must still be down here somewhere, right? I could add numerology to the list of luminarium sessions. So go into raptures over the number 8, which they deem sacred, and how it looks like infinity and a butterfly and so forth. They're especially fond of butterflies and flowers and rainbows. Their pretty butterfly gardens thrive where crops a body could actually eat wither in the field. Say Dr. Clark built his lab out here 2 years ago in a twice blessed year and was conducting some kind of exotic research until he transcended and was never seen again. Twice blessed year, so obviously I'm assuming that's 88 because they're very focused on 8. And 88 would be a twice blessed year. Can we go anywhere else in here? Let's have a look at those.
The butterflies sure seem to like these flowers.
Okay, so we can't go
A reliable water supply
over there.
is everything out here.
Yep, Danny. Do you
Hey,
want any help?
Danny?
What's going on?
If you're an eccentric scientist,
Number sequence that was easy to remember, what would you pick?
Suppose it'd be something important? A date, maybe? Or a memorable year? Never really thought about it.
How do I get back to the
the
lecture?
lecture?
Okay, so what date are we talking? I mean, 1847 was the day after. So it was after the event. Okay. Will that be... So it mentioned a twice blessed year. So a year with 2 8s in it. 1848. So if it's 1847 was the date of the year of the incident, and it was, he said, 2 years later. In a twice blessed year, so that 2 years later will be 1849, which isn't a twice blessed year. 1848 would be a twice blessed year. Okay, can we just work it out? Also, we need to work out what we can do with the wrench.
A wrench. Nothing spectacular about it.
February 12th, 1850. Dr. Clark, I hope this letter finds you well. Upon hearing news of the reactionary and ignorant ban our leaders have seen fit to impose, my thoughts went to you and your
So that's another...
in the wilderness. When they hounded you out after the expo, and I wouldn't be surprised if Leroy's cronies sabotaged your display to discredit you.
So there's a date mentioned in here.
Undaunted. After enduring such a trying year, I know how much building that lab out there meant to you. A turning point in your fortunes, or so it seemed. Yet I am sure you will persevere once more. One day when rationality again prevails in the halls of government and this silly thing is lifted, I hope to take you up on your offer of a tour. If you've returned to the bosom of civilization by then...
Okay, maybe I got the... Maybe I got the date wrong.
Dr. Roderick Nethersoul. P.S. How you managed to rig a TT-180 console to control...
I knew I'd seen TT-180.
...mechanisms still baffles me. Mine is destined for the scrapyard.
Okay, so let's have a look at that again. So 59's on Saturday, so this was released in 1847. Are we going to go 1848? Because it mentioned...
February 12th,
1850.
Dr. Clark, I hope this letter finds you well. Upon hearing news of the reactionary and ignorant ban our leaders have seen fit to impose, my thoughts went to you and your thankless labors in the wilderness. When they hounded you out after the expo, and I wouldn't be surprised if Leroy's cronies
1848
to discredit you, you were undaunted.
Did I get is this newspaper wrong? Because if that's this is written in 1850, so 2 years previously will be 1848.
Yet I am sure you will persevere once more. One day when rationality again prevails in the halls of government and this silly thing is lifted with warm P.S.
Okay. So shall we go all the way back and try 1848? I'm going to try it. Right. So we're back. Right. So let's have a look at that. The newspaper was 1847. And it's two. Let's just turn that. And we're going left. 18. Ooh. Get these. 48. Flip.
Fantastic.
Nicely done.
Very nicely done. Right.
Well, nothing horrible came out, shall we?
After you.
So 1848 was the magic number. I'm assuming that the date on the newspaper was wrong. Because it mentions the incident on the Saturday of that year, and it was 1847. So it's been 2 years since the incident, unless I'm mistaken. But the letter that from his friend was 1850, and then it was 2 years prior to that was the incident. So that would be 1848. I don't know. We're through the door anyway, so let's think. We still need. Obviously, we can blow up the lab now.
Santo cielo!
Hello.
What in the ether happened in here?
I do not know.
Yeah,
but I am not going in any further.
Yeah. To be fair, I think I don't really want to go in very further, but we're gonna have a look around. Plenty of fruit.
Ripe and juicy tomatoes. How can they grow without any soil?
Easy. Devilry.
Valid. It's the work of the devil.
Pumpkin is thriving, despite being sealed in here with no water or sunlight.
There is something very unnatural about all this.
Also, these mannequins are kind of losing their head.
These mannequins are disturbingly lifelike. This one's just staring at his buddy.
Can we take the... let's just pick up the head.
This might be of interest to our friends in Chrysalis.
I mean, true. I mean, who doesn't want a genuine mannequin head? I'm assuming
completely overgrown.
Probably for the best.
I'm assuming we're probably going to end up...
ripe and juicy tomatoes.
Can we do anything with this?
I've never seen anything like that before. Have you?
No,
it looks dangerous.
And I never want to see anything like it again.
You know, Phil, I think you've got the right mind of things staying out of this room. Because this feels mightily dangerous. I don't think I can interact with that to, do the control panel thing.
This one's missing its head. I wonder how that happened.
I can die happy never finding out.
Again, Phil, very valid. So I think we might be done in here. So we can go back to the lab. Back to the commune. Give our guy the mannequin head. Although that would mean we don't have to...
This is easily one of the strangest things I've ever had in my possession.
If we give this to him and he lets us in, does that mean we don't have to destroy the lab? Okay. I'm confused about the chain.
Here.
Yeah, okay. The chain of events now are a bit strange to me. So let's go back to the commune. Let's go to the kitchen. Would you like a mannequin head, my guy?
Have a look at this.
What? Where did this come from?
Clark's lab. His test room, to be precise.
You were able to get inside?
Sure
yes,
was.
we were.
It was full of plants and all kinds of weird equipment. The ethericity seems to have boosted the growth of the seeds somehow. It's like a jungle in there.
I mean,
cannot
they could use
condone your
that.
reckless disregard for the sanctity of the laboratory. But I also cannot deny
Yeah, it's very
the
important
importance
because
of
obviously we can grow
discovery.
plants now.
Must alert Emissary Paul immediately.
Right, alright, so I guess we're going in. It must be a choice. If we...
I'd better be quick. No telling when that chump might come back.
right, so let's just check everything. We're searching that right straight away.
Bottles of different colors. Nothing helpful.
Are we going to close the thing? And they're going to know that he's just going to know that we've ransacked the place.
Full of all kinds of liquids. I'd rather not know what they are.
Search the books.
Let's see. Books on science, engineering, astronomy. I'm sure this is all fascinating, but it's not going to help me any.
Definitely look at that.
Nothing's hidden behind it.
So this must be trust, because I'm assuming if we gave Phil the stuff for thingy, he would explode. Would we end up at the same spot? The fact I would guess the code means we don't have to destroy the lab. Operate.
Doesn't seem to be working.
Look at it.
Reminds me of an overgrown boiler.
Operate that.
Doesn't seem to be working.
Okay. Search the cabinet.
Lots of extra glassware. Nothing I need.
Yeah, smell that.
Damn, that's got a kick to it. It's
Look
full
at
of
it.
cloudy orange liquid.
Look at that.
What
Poke
in
it.
the hell is this supposed to be?
Let's poke it.
Didn't do anything. Probably for the best. The New Britannia Gazette.
I don't know what we're going to
Here are
find in
notes on
here.
The upcoming Lamplight City Expo. Interesting how the follow-up is nowhere to be found.
Maybe we should give them the follow-up.
A bunch of scribbles documenting the effects of ethericity on plants. Some notes documenting the effects of ethericity on animals. They're signed by a Juliet Montgomery.
Juliet Montgomery. We're going to find her.
Must be nice to actually be able to understand this stuff.
Also, I'm very surprised that they got that from the lab and, like, to here without any of the writing being smudged. I'm impressed with that.
Looks
Look
like
at
a
that.
smaller version of the power generator in the lab.
Play around with it.
That didn't do much.
Let's have a look at his head.
Bearded guy. The plaque says Galileo.
Galileo.
Galilei.
Also, I forgot we can open the left drawer.
Nothing but empty vials and flasks.
More empty flasks.
I should have known.
Hi.
Get out of here this instant, degenerate!
We missed those things. I missed.
Don't you dare try any more trickery, or Emissary Paul will hear of it.
Damn. So much for that. Guess it's time to put Phil's plan in motion.
Okay. I wonder if we could actually have searched that place fully.
This isn't much use with a wheel missing. Handle still looks good, at least.
Okay. Now, did I just do a timing thing? Is that just bad timing? Looking at everything. I should have looked at all the drawers first. However, we're going to go with plan B. we're not gonna load the. I could load the game in, but I feel we're making choices, and if we don't do it, we're just gonna roll and see how it goes like that. You know, like naturally. We're not gonna try and save scum.
Could we have a word in private, Jake?
Sure.
Yeah, can we? Can I have a look at it?
What's on your mind?
Oh, never
I'll
mind.
just leave.
So we need the handle. We need the a handle for a plunger. We need something flammable. We've got the fertilizer.
Yep, that's fertilizer, all right. Professor Xander, I'm sure that's the case.
Technically, would that work? We also need to do something with that. Let's go back. Let's go talk to Phil. Actually, wait. Let's go back to the fort. See if we can find anything flammable here. Can we steal anything? I mean, we can open the door. Can we just open the door? I'd be very surprised if we could.
Must only open from the inside.
I mean, that's why it's called a fort. Call out.
Hey, guard!
Hello.
What is it?
Did Captain Stokes come back here? We lost sight of him after the attack.
He's here. Don't think he's up to receiving anyone, though.
Okay.
I found the flag Stokes was carrying out on patrol. Thought he might like
Valid.
it back.
We can, that's our way in.
You're noble, you miss.
Oh, can we get...
I'll make sure he gets it.
What do you all get up to in this place?
I'm really not at liberty to say, ma'am.
Carry on, soldier.
Carry on. I'll see you later. Can I just knock on the door? Is he going to come back the window? No? Alright. Okay, so fort was a bust. Let's go back to the lab. Yo, Phil.
Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
Remind me.
Remind
What do
me
we need?
what it is you need for your distraction?
Some fertilizer.
Got.
Some flammable liquid.
How I
Something can
maybe got.
use as my detonator's plunger.
Got it.
It's a plunge that we need. Right, carry on. So let's have a look at... Let's give him the fertilizer.
Here's some fertilizer for you.
Ah, excellent. Thank you.
Could that be the flammable thing?
Here, can you use this as an accelerant?
Definitely. Alcohol this potent.
Okay, so we just need the handle. Where are we going to get the handle from? The handle is the handle the thing, the cart. It seems to be. She mentions the handle, but I can't take it. That's the problem. Unless I'm being incredibly dim. I think I may have worked it out. Can we use the wrench to remove the we need to use the wrench to remove the handle. I can't believe I did not think about that until this very moment. It's attached to the wagon.
I will stay in here.
Yeah, you do that. Right. So let's go back to the commune. And let's use the wrench. I keep on forgetting I haven't used the wrench before. Right, so let's go back to the commune. I'm going to go to the kitchen and we're going to try to use the wrench on this wagon. And I genuinely can't believe I didn't think of this before. Right, Hopefully it works. Use that on the wagon. I'm going to keep getting you pushed back.
I'll have this handle off in a jiff.
Yeah. Thank you. I can't believe I didn't think of that before. Let's go back. Let's go back and see Phil. Let's blow up this lab. Let's go a bit extreme. Right. Oh, Phil, I have a handle for you. Are we actually going to blow up the entire lab, though? I think we're pretty much done in here.
Hey, Phil, let's talk.
What about?
Oh, hold on. Accident.
Right.
Carry on.
Carry on.
I should have just given you it. Hand select that. Thank you. And we'll give you
Will
the
this
handle.
work as a plunger?
Why, yes, I think so. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfecto. This is everything I need. Meet me outside in a quarter of an hour. And prepare for a show that will make Jake envious. All right, everything is prepared.
Okay.
One last look. When you are ready, just say the word.
It's a shame we have to do this.
I hate to do this. I wish there had been another way.
I mean, there was.
Turning back now.
I think we just screwed up.
3, 2, 1.
I really hope we didn't need any of the stuff in there.
Carajo! That was beautiful.
It was very good. It was a nice explosion.
Back to the commune and find whatever it is you were looking for. I will meet you and the others by the railroad tracks when you are done.
You know what it is? I just feel like
Right.
I should have done this.
Again.
Okay, so we're so close. I felt like we're so close as well.
Lots more books, mostly about technical subjects. And what's this? Looks like a diary.
Yeah, see? Take the diary. Wait, did we take the diary? We did, okay. Search that cabinet.
Even more books in here. Some novels, poetry books. Nice to know Clark had other interests, but none of this helps.
Mess with that.
No effect that I can see.
Let's have a look at the
resembles a
telegraph.
but what is this box for?
Look at the notes.
The things some people will keep for posterity, I'll never understand.
Yeah, we were so close to searching.
Telegraph.
Alright, can we read this now? Read it.
Final entry is bookmarked with a letter. Definitely worth a read. But first...
Hi, Editor Rinsel here. So, at this point in the video, I did actually sit and read out loud his entire journal. Now, it lasted for about 15 minutes. So, what I've done is, I've cut it from this section for pacing, for like episode pacing, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add my reading of the journal to the very end of the episode. So if you are interested in reading that or listening to me read that for 15 minutes, you can jump to this timestamp up here. Well, you can either do it now or you can wait to the end of the video. All that's in it really is a whole bunch of like lore about him and his philosophy and what's basically going on with his life. Nothing particularly storyline, like main story related. Doesn't give us any clues or anything like that. It's basically just a kind of like a lore dump. So I'm gonna chuck that at the end of the episode. If you want to watch that, by all means. If you don't, then obviously we'll just continue from just after I finish reading. Let me know if that was okay. I'm curious. Felt like the right thing to do. back to the episode. Okay. Hopefully this one is read out for us.
February 9th, 18th.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
That's only 9 months ago.
Yeah.
I have a business proposal. Relinquish that dusty laboratory in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Go to El Presidio.
Are we going to El Presidio?
Stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership and military rank afford me certain privileges. You will be furnished with the comforts owing to a man of your intellect and accomplishments.
It's signed L.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. One of the aforementioned perks.
Interesting.
Okay.
Jake will want to see this.
Yeah, let's go see Jake then. Let's go see Jake. I guess feeling we're going to El Presidio.
I heard a big boom, and then they all went running toward the lab.
That's where Phil went. Do you think...
Hey, there's Holly.
Yeah, I'm fine. Phil's fine.
Do you have any idea what all this ruckus is about? Or where Phil's gone?
Both, and I'll gladly tell you, but we need to get out of here right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Right behind you, my dear.
Let's leave. Phil, I knew it was you.
See, you all made it out of there in one piece.
Likewise.
Would you two care to explain what that was all about?
Well, I had to get inside the shrine, and I offered them a mannequin head covered in tomatoes, and I took too long trying to have a bit of a poke around, so we ended up blowing the lab. That's the long story short.
I needed a way to get inside that shrine to Clark, and Phil provided the distraction.
Definitely.
So you blew up the lab?
You should have seen it. Some of my finest...
It was a very good explosion.
I have to admit, that was resourceful of you. Although we probably shot whatever goodwill we had with the Luminarians.
I should say, was that really necessary?
I had no other choice.
If you ask me, we did the world a favor.
Plan A didn't work.
Chamber
I will say that. Plan A didn't quite work.
I assume you didn't come up empty-handed.
I found Clark's journal. Have a look at this letter that was inside.
An invitation to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio?
Yep. Check the date.
9 months ago. Huh.
That's right about the time he disappeared, isn't it?
Very
It
true.
is indeed. I'd say it's obvious that the good doctor accepted the invitation.
And took his money with him?
Well, it wasn't in Chrysalis or his lab. And
Both
listen to
valid.
this. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. Don't get much clearer than that.
Right, so it'll be a long trip. Are we sure about this? What's our next move? So we're bound for El Presidio. Let's get packing.
Suppose we should start packing if El Presidio is our next destination.
Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, really?
First and foremost, we need some transportation.
You haven't got any? Don't you tour around?
Sure, but our show wagon ain't gonna fit all of us.
Plus, we'll need it to store all the show's props and equipment while we're gone. There's that lady in town with a wagon, though. Heard her talking at the saloon once. Said she hires it out to travelers.
Oh, nice.
Sounds promising. Who is she?
You've met, actually. She was your cellmate when we bailed you out.
Lola?
Nice. Lola.
Did mention she was leaving town soon. Maybe we can hitch a ride.
We should head back to Rosewater, no?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get 'em
Let's go on. Let's go back to Rosewater.
Right. Harley, I'm putting you in charge of hiring us some transportation. Danny and I are going back to the theater to settle some business.
Okay.
Come get us once you
Lola.
arranged a
Where's that Lola there?
Just how am I meant to arrange it? Financially speaking?
Well, now that makes...
Yeah, we don't have any money. I've got, what, 25 crowns?
At the end of the show's run. But seeing as we'll be breaking that contract, I'm sad to say we'll be forfeiting those proceeds. Anybody else got funds to contribute to the kitty?
Not unless this Johnson woman accepts pesos. And I've few enough of those at that.
I'm afraid I haven't got anything either.
Harley, my dear, I'm afraid we must then prevail upon you to furnish the petty cash needed to get our expedition aloft. Seeing as you're the only other one of our posse who's currently in the position of being gainfully employed.
I mean, I could just write the...
But you'll be fully reimbursed once we find what we're looking for, on top of your share, with interest.
I certainly hope so.
Wonderful. Well then, we'll be seeing you later.
Quite possibly, yes. I'm assuming we can probably just write this article.
I think I'll pay Dr. Sedgwick a visit. It's been ages.
And I owe him proper thanks for his care.
See you in a bit, Harley.
You go see the doctor. So I'm assuming I'm gonna write a thing and get paid by the newspaper. That seems like a valid thing to do. However, we're gonna do that next time because now seems like a good spot to leave it here for this week. I'm gonna go thingy. Let's go big me real quick. Hi. So I really enjoy this game. I'm really enjoying it. I like the fact that we had a plan A. Plan A could have worked if I'd been a little bit more methodical about doing a search. I thought I had more time than we did. However, I like the fact that plan A could have worked. I failed. Me personally failed. So we had a plan B to, and obviously we could just explore that, or we could have just explored the lab straight away and not even tried to get through that door, stuff like that. I like the variation. It does actually make me want to play the game again and try different paths, because we could have skipped that entire blowing up the place in favor of getting it, finding the journal quickly. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, though. I didn't realize I didn't have that much time. So, like I said, really enjoying it. I hope you are as well. I think we're going to be, continuing this next time. I'm assuming we're going to be writing our letter to get paid by our journalist pal, our boss, basically, the editor. Because obviously we're going to be traveling across the country to this other place, so I'm assuming that we're going to have to give up this job, or at the very least talk to her about it. So that's probably where we're going to be going next time, working that kind of thing out, going to see Laura, getting her thing, and then off we go after Dr. Clark. I'm intrigued as to whether this it hasn't directly stated steampunk, and I haven't physically seen anything steampunky, barring that stuff in the lab, but I don't know whether that would be classed as steampunk in Wild West. I'm not entirely sure. It did look a little bit more advanced. It's mentioned a few things, like the airship kind of situation and other bits and pieces. Screams steampunk to me, but I might be wrong. I'm leaning more towards that direction now. Anyway, I'm rambling on. We are going to leave this here for this week. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please let me know in the comment section below. If you are new here, feel free to come hang out. Come check out some other stuff that we'll have going on. We would love to have you here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you again for all support. It is much appreciated. If you want to go above and beyond on the support, you can opt into the membership stuff. You grab tier 1, you get your name up on the wall just up here. If you grab tier 2, you get your name up here as well. And you also get early access to the videos. Should you be interested in that, grab one of those today. If you're not interested in it though, however, don't worry about it, because memberships are always appreciated but are never mandatory. If you just hang out for that early access period, the videos become available to everyone after that initial period. I'm going off the rails now because I'm hungry. Also, please remember to be a light in the dark for someone, because you never know when a single act or word of kindness can change someone's day or life for the better, or in ways that you may never understand or never even know about. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and you all know what's coming. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And as always, shall see you on the flip side. Bye bye. Okay, reading time. Are we going into reading time? March 13th, 1845. I am embarking on a new project, which means a new journal. Here I will record my notes and observations from a series of experiments on the generation and application of etheric energy. I believe it can be profitably harvested from the very air and harnessed for an immense number of beneficial uses. I see the streets of Lamplight City aglow, not with the smoky flicker of flame, but from burning costly oil, but with bright etheric light from lamps that never need fuel. I see compact, efficient etheric engines replacing the bulky and limited diffusion generators that drive Her Majesty's airships. We are in steampunk, because we didn't have airships back then in that kind of time. I see our nation's mills and manufactories humming, kept in motion not with the sweat of the brow or the belching fumes of coal fires, but with the clean, abundant power of ethericity. The applications are limitless, but before they can be realized, I must turn my attention to the practical problem of efficient generation, not to mention safe, reliable storage. Even if energy can be summoned from the atmosphere on demand, some intermediate storage device will be necessary to absorb the excess and release it into controlled fashion. Absent such a mechanism to modulate the unpredictable flow of raw power, the effect would be akin to cooking one's breakfast by exploding a stick of dynamite. Tomorrow I must visit Cunningham's to order glass tubes and ampoules. As yours takes weeks to deliver, I hope he also has magnetite on hand in sufficient quantity so I can start experimenting with it right away. But I will try the iron filings first, if not. Down to last spool of copper wire, I must pick up more, and I must stop by the office of the Gazette soon to circulate an advertisement for a new assistant in the weekend edition. Much to do. January 19th, 1846. Some days the work has been maddeningly slow, and some days it seems we advance by leaps and bounds. I am kept too busy to think often of writing in this journal, yet I have made notable progress. I have built the first prototype capable of harvesting ambient etheric potential and channeling it to produce energy. In this instance, heat. There is yet no flow regulation mechanism, so the entire energy field yield feeds directly into a copper heating element, suspended within a water-filled cylinder fixed with a thermometer. The top is left open to vent the steam, which is frequently produced in abundance. In future, naturally, the entire heating coil system steam tube apparatus will be replaced with another assemblage, capable of converting the ethericity into useful energy, to generate light, say, or mechanical motion. The prototype does not appear capable as yet of generating heat beyond the material's tolerance. However, I have reached the limits of this particular configuration. Without hazarding a face full of superheated steam and shattering glass, I can't say with confidence even now that a random harmonic flux in the atmosphere could not cause a sudden spike of etheric energy that would produce such a result. Now that the principle is proven, we must experiment with introducing a regulator to throttle and control the flow, for both safety and practicality. This remains not inconsequential matter of funding. It has taken longer than anticipated to reach even this early milestone beyond the initial outlay for equipment. I had not been accounted for the necessity of covering rent on the old Turnbull Street storehouse, nor the wages of my assistant, Frank, for so long a term. So you basically ran out of money. I have already removed from Miss Gladstone's modest but comfortable lodgings to the garret over the storehouse, a move which has proved economical as regards both money and time, if rather less satisfactory in the matter of board. I fear I did not give Miss Gladstone's Sunday roast quite the credit I now realise in want of them was their due. I think I read that wrong. Despite the savings thereby afforded, my meagre reserves will soon be depleted at this rate unless I can introduce a benefactor to relieve me of these pecuniary obligations. November 6, 1846. At Frank's instigation, I have embarked on a program of fortnightly public demonstrations of our apparatus. A brief lecture on the principles of ethericity, followed by a practical display of the generator's operation, is offered to all corners, or as many as will fit within the storehouse, free of charge. I confess that at first I regarded this pageantry as a distraction from the work, a senseless bit of spectacle to dazzle the simple tradesfolk and labourers who occupy this district. However, Frank persuaded me that attracting an investor would require some measure of transparency as to my research, and while it is true that most who attend my presentations come seeking thrills rather than any intellectual or financial engagement, putting on these shows has allowed word to spread. Some are beginning to take notice. Last month's published proceedings of the Vespuccian Royal Society of Natural Philosophy contained mention of rumours of research into the generation of etheric power by Mr. Clark of Turnbull Street. I leave aside that they misspelled my name and omitted my title. Not everyone can pay society dues and have their credentials indelibly observed. But they know enough of my work to have spoken of in those lofty chambers of knowledge and opportunity. That is what matters. And since they did accurately remark of the address of my laboratory, perhaps one or two of those learned gentlemen might be persuaded to visit and see my work for themselves. I shall pen a letter to the Society Secretary at once. February 2nd, 1847. With introductions and encouragement lately extended by Dr. Nethersole, second Vice President of the VRSNP, I have no idea what that means, Vespucci, I'm not even going to attempt it. I have secured connections sufficient to gain my place in Etheric Pavilion to be installed at the Lamplight City Global Expo this very summer. We all know how that turned out. Not only will I have the opportunity to demonstrate my etheric generator before a grand public audience, as a condition of my participation, Harmon and Grave, chief sponsors of the exhibit, have tasked me with consulting on the design of the pavilion in terms of requirements as to technical equipment, layout, accommodations for visitors, tens of thousands expected, and so forth. There is so much to be done to prepare. I don't even know how many pages this is. Tuning of the flow regulator remains the utmost priority. Still have some months left to resolve the superheating issue. I have high hopes for the finer gauge electrum filament. It strikes me that whatever investments and explorations these firms have heretofore conducted in the sphere of ethericity, there are really very few individuals to whom they might turn to have any measure of practical experience, extending beyond the realm of pure theory. And yet I had to go begging, hat in hand, to them for the opportunity to take part in their exhibition. Absent my generator, which can produce energy at a fraction of the cost of electricity, and with none of the polluting infrastructure, there will be nothing to present in their pavilion but promises and fairy stories of a future not yet in evidence. But I must not bristle at these indignities and be grateful for my good fortune. At last the world will see the power of ethericity revealed. June 6, 1847. Horrors beyond uttering. I can hardly bring myself to write them here. Frank. Poor Frank. I think Frank might have been gone. Your mother will not open the door to me, and I cannot say I fault her for that. I will send her your 3 months' wage by post. A paltry sum for a life, but all I have to offer. I have spent the past 2 days sealed in Turnbull Street, every waking moment spent checking and rechecking my prototypes and consulting my research notes. Seeking any error or miscalculation, what went wrong? The flow regulator had exhibited irregularities before, but all within tolerance. Nothing on the scale of that. The police will neither return nor allow me to access the remains of the exhibition model. I'll get there. If only I could inspect it, I might find the manufacturing flaw, defect in material that caused the catastrophe. Or, though I shudder to turn my thoughts in this direction, perhaps some sign of sabotage. There are many who would delight to see me fail. Angry crowds dog my steps wherever I venture beyond my door, reinforcing my voluntary seclusion. At every moment I expect the constables to arrive with irons. I have a growing suspicion that some handsome sum was discreetly paid by one of the sponsors to suppress public scandal associated with the event. If so, I am by happenstance the fortunate beneficiary of these manoeuvrings and owe to them my present liberty. How many more we got? Oh good lord, we have quite a few. Let's go back. Oh, okay, there we go. Next page. We've started, so we'll finish. But what use is my liberty without my work? There on stage at the pavilion, I felt myself briefly a colossus of science standing astride the world with a shining future spread out before me. Now it has all crumbled in one blinding burst of light. The inquest is complete and my name declared. I bear no formal responsibility for the deaths at the expo. In the eyes of the city of New Britannia, at least, her people are not so gracious. The Labourites in Parliament are taking advantage of the public furor to press all the more stridently for a blanket ban on etheric research, which I am certain the Prime Minister will be all too glad to sign into law. I am aware of the dark irony in the fact that my exoneration in the matter was likely only lend strength to their arguments. For if I am not some murderous monster guilty of horrific malpractice, then ethericity itself must be dangerously unstable and unsafe, beyond the power of any man to control. Fools! If they but knew what miraculous possibilities they foreclose with their ignorance and fear. Sometimes a scientific truth emerges which the world is not yet ready to hear. Was not Galileo denounced as a heretic in his day, only to be vindicated by generations yet unborn? Iper se muove. I probably butchered that. It is clear that whatever I am to do next, I cannot do it here. I must leave the city and I will go west, even in if total prohibition becomes the law of the land. Laws hold us somewhat looser at the nation's virgin fringes, far from the Grand Maison and the chambers of Parliament. The desert has traditionally offered refuge to visionaries and hermit eccentrics. I can continue my work there away from the throngs. I have come too far and glimpsed too much to give up now. The road of progress was never a smooth one. I have tumbled over a tremendous stumbling block and I will pick myself up and carry on. Ad Occidentum. My new laboratory, my hermitage, my sanctuary of science in the wilderness is complete. Moving out here has been an adjustment for want of the various municipal amenities upon which I was accustomed to rely. My resourcefulness has been sorely tried, for ample hydration for bodily needs as well as for hydraulic pressure and cooling of my apparatus. I have been obliged to construct a rudimentary water tower. Even the illumination which living in Lamplight City I had taken for granted. I must now provide and have taken to dipping my own candles with spare wax and cotton thread. These labours I undertake alone, unwilling to venture so far as engaging another assistant. But solitude was the point of this relocation, was it not? I do believe the desert climate agrees with me. I have certainly found it more conducive to work without interruptions at all hours. And the San Bernardo Valley vistas often offer quite an inspiring change from the clogged alleys and foggy horizons of New Britannia. I am not wholly severed from my fellow man. The small settlement of Rosewater is but a short distance away, should I need to call upon any of civilization's necessities. While I was timid of my reception at first, I have found the people here rather more open-minded than those back east, and I have begun giving occasional lectures and demonstrations for small audiences. If these simple-hearted frontier folk can yet be won over and taught to admire and yearn for the transformative potential of ethericity, then perhaps there is hope for the rest of the nation in time. In the desert I am made anew. My sins are wiped clean by scouring sands. I begin again. Last 2 pages. This took a lot longer than I was expecting it to. The fools, they have done it. They have sliced off their own nose and stamped upon it as they lay bleeding in the dust for spite. Our Prime Minister, having won re-election in defiance of all decency and good sense, has moved swiftly to deliver on his campaign promises and signed a total and immediate ban on all practical research, experimentation and development of etheric technology. It is a dark age we live in, and thanks to Leroy and those Labourite technophobes, it will stay that way. It is not yet clear what the repercussions will be out here, so far from the halls of power. I have no wish to tempt fate and have ceased all public display of my work. But will they remember the mad Dr. Clark, the erstwhile wizard of ethericity in his self-imposed desert exile? Will they come looking for me? Like a scuttling bug I must keep to the shadows, hope to escape notice. It is the only way forward. One day I hope to deliver the fire of ethericity to man, to lift him up from darkness and keep him in comfort and splendour. For this deed I can but hope that my punishment will be less severe than that which Prometheus endured. My work continues.